all having a fabulous evening. I know it's been a minute, but it's okay. We back because when I come back, I always come back strong. I got somebody strong every time I come back. I don't ever come back without giving you the best. So, welcome to Confidently Speaking with B Springs. I am your host, B Springs, and boy, do we have a treat for you tonight. We have a wonderful guest. I've had the pleasure of meeting her just yesterday and haven't met her in person, but let me tell you what. We have an adventure for you tonight. I have a wonderful lady who is an advocate for youth all over the state of Alabama, and she has some wonderful programs I am so excited to be associated with. um I when I read her bio and she had all these great programs going, I was like, man, I need her programs in Charlotte. So without further ado, I am going to bring to you Miss Grace Harvey. Let me bring her to the stage.
Hi.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Grace, good to see
Hey, Miss
you.
B, thank you so much for having me on today.
It is my pleasure. I felt so good talking to you yesterday. And I just know we're going to make great strides with just having you here on this show today.
Oh, wow, this is awesome.
This is all, I'm so excited.
Me
So,
too.
uh, just so I want you to take a few minutes and tell the audience about yourself and how you got into the education industry.
All right. Well, thank you so much again, Miss B. And I am Grace Harvey. Once again, I'm so glad to be here. Wow, how did I get into education? Well, to be honest, I was not even planning on being in education. I started at Troy University in my 20s, early 20s, and majoring in psychology. And I just got a little job here at a local daycare and, just to make a little extra money. And then I end up getting hired with Montgomery Community Action Agency Head Start. And there I wasn't serious about that either, for real. It was just another paycheck. And I would say it took me about 8 or 9 years before I realized this was actually my calling, to be able to work with children and their families. And it was just divine connections there going on, in the classroom, and me being able to connect with children and meet them where they are. And I'm like, oh, wow, like I'm really good at this. And I really love it. So after all those years, after 9 years, I was almost finished with that psychology degree. And I said, you know what? This is what I want to do. Went back to school. I will be graduating in December. I'm so happy about that. And that's kind of where I'm at with education. And I just fell in love overall. Our children struggle the most with social and emotional development. And that was my area of, helping them manage their feelings and things of that nature. And I just fell in love with that aspect of it. And that's something that we have to tackle first before they can actually learn, or you can pour into them what you want them to learn as far as lessons. They got to be okay. So that's how I fell in love with education, and I've been in education for 23 years now.
What I love about that, I had this little job. I loved it. I had this little job. I love
Yeah.
that. That's how it usually starts out. You start out doing something, and God just kind of opens up stuff to you because we're
Right.
not really
Yes.
prepared for it when we first get there. He just has to
Hmm.
give it to us piece by piece.
Piece by piece, and yes, he did that.
I love that. I love that. Okay. So, was there anything, I know you told us how you got into it, but was there anything that really was an inspiration? That something happened? Was there something going on that just really inspired you to go into the direction you've gone into we'll talk about the organizations in a minute, but was there something that drove you that direction?
Yes, again, just being a support for the children that were in my care at the time, and not only them, but their families too. And I just noticed that I was able to have quite a bit of successful stories in the children's education outcome, with it being a success. Like I said, children nowadays, they come in struggling with the social and emotional development part of their lives, and um, by us being teachers, we have to look at the child as a whole, including their family, to be able to understand them, to be able to support and guide them. We need to know the whole story, the whole background, and
Mhm.
I fell in love with that. I really did. And it was one particular child I had about some years ago. And this baby could not even sit at the table next to another student without being destructive, or, or getting physical, with other students. By the time that child left, that child was able to manage his feelings. He was able to calm himself, and I thought that was one of my greatest success in my education field. And following him, I was able to do that for other children too as well. And it took a lot of time. It takes a lot of patience. Oh my gosh, it takes a lot of patience. But that's what really drove me into education. And then the importance of knowing how important it is to start early with children's education. Pre-K is, where I started, and absolutely wonderful program, and the earlier the better. And I fell in love with that because we just sometimes we may underestimate what a 3-year-old can do, or what a 2-year-old can do, or what a 4-year-old know. And they are actually very intelligent children, very intelligent. And so I just fell in love with that aspect of education, just helping our children to be able to cope. Because at 3 and 4 year olds, at 3 and 4 year olds, they have feelings, they have things that they're going through at home that may be challenging, and we may think it does not have an effect on them, and they're not aware, and they are aware. So just being able to do that for that particular age group, and to really focus in on that area and know that being able to manage feelings and be in touch with your feelings and your emotions, and being able to socialize with others and communicate, that's very important. That's like number one before anything else.
Well, you brought up a couple things that brought questions to my mind. I told you I was gonna have
Mhm.
questions once you
Oh
start
yeah,
talking.
that's fine.
Okay, so my question is, you said you were able to work with the child to help them get in
Mhm,
touch with their feelings. What are some of the techniques that you would suggest,
mhm,
for those of us? Now, I don't have any little kids myself, but I'm in the
mhm.
grandparent stage now.
Okay.
So those of us that have, the grandkids, and those who may be watching who have those
Mhm.
smaller kids, what are some techniques that we can kind of help use to help our children get in touch with those emotions, like you said?
Well, if you have children that are quite upset, and at 3 and 4 year, at 4, they really show how they're feeling through their actions more so than words, and that's where you would see temper tantrums going on. They may throw things, they may kick, they may roll on the floor, and all of that stuff. Let them have that moment. That's them figuring out how they're feeling. This is how I'm feeling. This is what I want you to know how I'm feeling. This is how I'm expressing, because I don't have quite the words yet to tell you verbally I'm upset. So the first thing they're
Hmm.
going to do is they're going to act out on it. So
Right, right.
I will let them have that time and that space. And that could be hard to practice because I'm old school and you know how that goes now. Now, I'm gonna go and
Us
tell you
too.
this, B, I'm gonna be honest. Now I can do
Yeah.
that with the children in the classroom, but I can't do that with my own.
Me either.
I can do it all day, but when it come to my own, it's like what? You know, you gonna do what I say. I'm the mama type attitude. Yeah,
Mhm.
no, seriously, let them have those moments and let them, and then after that, I usually get real close and personal, and I
Mhm.
usually hold out my hands like this, and 9 times out of 10, when I hold out my hands, they'll give me their hands.
Mhm.
Or if not, I'll gently take it and just kind of massage them like this. And I'm like, I see that you were upset. Tell me why you're upset. What happened? You know?
Mhm.
And then I've had so many, that technique works so good. And they'll open right up and tell you what's going on. And then you can tell them how they can handle that situation or whatever they're going through, because that's what we want. Like I said with old school, if you cut up, you're getting a whooping. But what did they learn for real? We learn not to do it anymore, not to throw temper tantrums or do this or that and the third. But we just got to really tell them, feed to them what they can do and how they can solve whatever the issue is, or
Mhm.
give them choices, or say, well, what do you think about this if we could have handled it this way or that way or that? And then show them ways that they can um, control their anger in a more better
Mhm.
way than tension
Mhm.
tantrums,
Mhm.
than rolling and kicking on the floor, maybe hitting somebody else. And those techniques looks like breathing. A lot of my children breathe. You should see the 3 or 4. They be like, I'm like, yeah, breathe it out, let it go, relax, release, let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah, breathe, and then I have some that actually count, you know, 1, 2, 3, and
Mhm.
in our classroom we have a little cozy area where if they need space and time by themselves, they know to go to that space. And they
Mhm.
know to tell friends, hey, I need time to myself.
Okay.
And they will get it.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Something else I thought about, because I have a couple friends n- who are in early elementary and
Mhm.
that kind of thing, and they talk about, you can tell when the children are bringing things from home,
Mhm.
and like you, because you mentioned earlier, because they're acting out not because anything's
Mhm.
happening there, but it's something that has come from home. Do you ever have I mean, do you have a program, or is there something that happens that you can tell the difference between, I'm just having a thing in the classroom versus something that's
Mhm.
coming from home? Is there a way you can distinguish that when you're working with the children?
Yeah, I can distinguish if it's been a significant change in the home.
Mhm.
Um, you will see wedding.
Okay.
Wedding is one of them. Zoning out.
Mhm.
Not, just staring
Mhm.
off, not really there. And then when you get to know your children and know their attitudes and their personalities and how they are, and then you notice that they come in and they're totally different. Teachers, the good thing about working in pre-K is that we're able to focus on that a little bit more than elementary teachers. Elementary teachers, we go in the classroom and it's work, 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 work.
Mhm.
It's no time for conscious discipline. It's like what we like to call it. It's no time for that. It's no time to connect with the child and their emotions and to see how they're feeling and all of that. Because the schedule is so tight and jam packed, and then you have one teacher in the room, and you may have 24 students in there, and that could be very challenging. Whereas in pre-K, you have two teachers in the classroom. So we have that time to actually pour more into that part in working with the child and helping them and supporting them in social and emotional development versus elementary school teachers could.
Okay. Okay.
So, yeah, so those are some significant key points. It's just zoning out, sleeping, unusual sleeping in the classroom, and wedding. Like I said, wedding. With pre-K, I've heard uh, stories. When it's something really, really extreme going on, where you get sort of into neglect or
Mhm.
abuse. Um, they make up stories and they'll tell
Mhm.
you through stories what's happening.
Mm. That's interesting.
Yeah, so that's I've experienced that too as well.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to take a quick commercial break.
Okay.
Uh, thank you all for joining. Hey, Dr. Nikki, thank you so much for joining.
Dr.
Welcome,
Nikki.
welcome to Confidently Speaking with B Springs. I have my wonderful guest tonight, Grace Harvey, and she is a wonderful youth and ed- educator and advocate for youth. And she's getting ready to talk about these fabulous programs that she has available as
Mhm.
well. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that slide up like we talked about. So why don't you tell us about your programs, and you can just move from one to the next, and then we'll go to our next set of the next topic we're going to talk about. So
All right. So I see totally rocking art kids here.
yeah,
So you want me to talk about it now?
yeah,
You said
yeah.
okay.
Talk about this now. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So with totally rocking art kids, remember I was just telling you about my passion for our children being able to manage their emotions and their feelings in social
Mhm.
and emotional development. So this is across the board. As you know, we have a lot of youth violence going on as
Mhm.
killing youth, youth killings and just really doing damage to other people.
Mhm.
And somewhere along the line, they just missed that. That's why it's so important with that social and emotional development to be
Mhm.
able to respect others, their opinions, to be able to work in a team, work in groups. So, with totally rocking art kids, first of all, kids really, really are acceptable to art. Anything
Mhm.
working with their hands, and carrying out, projects on their own. So I decided to do art and introduce them to creative arts, and just any other type of art too, as well too. But when they get introduced to art, to different types of art, we wanted to make sure to put character builders in there that's
Mhm.
based around character development, and then also that's based around, again, supporting their social and emotional development, more so focusing on conflict resolution,
Okay. Okay.
which is that's, with 3 and 4 year olds, like I said earlier, um they're going to show their emotions and their feelings um through actions rather verbally, because they
Mhm.
just don't have quite the words yet to express their feelings. But then when we get older, we want to say, okay, I know everybody's not going to be like me. I know people are going to say things that I'm not going to like, and I can't control what comes out of their mouth,
Right.
but I
Right.
can control how I can handle it. And so with the Totally Rocking Art Kids, that's what we do. It's a
Mhm.
pop-up art club. We travel to local community centers, schools, other mentoring youth programs, and we actually take the art club to them, and we introduce them to different types of art, and we focus on a character builder.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, good. And
Yes.
that's the program that's for boys and girls, correct?
Right, that's a program that's for boys and for girls. And Fortunately, our city brought in a program in partnership with what was it? Home Homeland Ford. I think I'm saying it right. But the Builders and Backers program,
Hmm.
our city brought that program in where we could apply for this program where they would fund any type of idea that you want to start a business on. And that's how I was able to start up Totally Rocking Our Kids.
Okay, and see,
Mhm.
let's think about that. Those of you in her community, when opportunities come for you to get free money, we need to be jumping on those opportunities
Mhm, mhm,
because there's money out there to support all these initiatives that we have
mhm.
in our community. So you got to take advantage of those things when they. I don't know what happened. My light went out. Hold on a minute.
Oh, okay.
Like what happened? But anyway, uh, we have to take advantage of those opportunities when they come available, and
Mhm.
sometimes we miss the mark because we're not paying attention.
Right, right. And it's actually it's up now, you know. They're accepting applications now. And I posted that. I don't know when it was closed, but they are accepting applications and they grant you $5,000, you know, and it's a
Ooh,
whole
that's good.
program that you
That's
go
good.
through. And I got all made a budget, my plan, and turned it in, and this that program, Builders and Backers program, really helped tremendously. And our mayor, Stephen Reed, was the one that backed this up.
Okay, what about the next program, the launch, the the nonprofit challenge? Let's talk about that's the smorgasbord program, right?
Yes. So, my other business I have here is the Community and Nonprofit Smorgasbord. And this came about, it's a huge gap in our community of parents and families not knowing the community resources that are available for them out here. We have a phenomenal list of nonprofit organizations, support groups that are out here and ready to serve, our community. But our parents and families, they don't know anything about it. It's like they be searching to see where it is or what's out there, and so. The Community and Nonprofit Smorgasbord is a platform to bring our parents and families to nonprofit organizations that they may need to connect with. And so that's how Community and Nonprofit Smorgasbord started out. So the Lunch Your Nonprofit falls under Community and Nonprofit Smorgasbord. It is a program and it is a challenge. It's a 5-day challenge, and this came about. We have it was so many requests that I was receiving on how to start a nonprofit. And I'm like, you don't have to pay bukus of money.
Mhm.
It's so easy to start. Myself, I had to learn a lot of my own and had to do a lot of my own on trying to figure out how to do, build a board and just simple stuff, and not being charged an arm and a leg for it.
Mhm.
So, with the Lunch Your Nonprofit, this really digs into your strategic planning, how to do that, how to do a SWOT analysis if you already have a nonprofit,
Mhm.
how to do a SWOT analysis, how to do your own 501c3, um,
Mhm.
tax exempt status, how to register, how to do your articles of corporation, and then I tap into what you're actually getting your foot into, you know,
Mhm.
because if you're doing it just to say, hey, I'm doing this and just
So
to be
much more behind the scenes people don't know about.
it's so much more behind the scenes of a nonprofit leader.
Yes, yes.
So we dive into all of that in this challenge, and this challenge is virtual. It's only $15, but we do a 30-minute Zoom and you get a roadmap guide that I've prepared with some great content in there that I felt that would be helpful to people that are getting ready to step into the nonprofit world.
Okay. All right. Now, now we're at 7:25 right now. I don't want to hold you too long.
Okay.
But I definitely want you to talk about the pink and pearls for girls. See, I dressed just for your occasion today, cause and the reason, and so I'm gonna tell my audience the reason why I was really interested in this program because I know we're always looking for these programs to put our girls in, and this
Mm-hmm.
is one of those great programs that I even talked to Miss Grace yesterday about being able to do that in Charlotte.
Oh
So
yes.
more to come on that. More to
Oh
come on that.
yes.
But I definitely want you to talk about that program because I don't want to keep you over time, and we will have another slide. I want to make sure I show everybody.
Okay.
So if you could talk about the Pink and Pearls for Girls Incorporated for me, I really
Sure.
want you to talk about that.
Yes. Yes, this is my baby. This is my love right here. My first nonprofit business ever, launched off 13 years ago. And in this program, we serve, it says 4 years old, but we actually have 1 year olds in there too, with the support of their parents that
Hmm.
come from time to time. But we provide learning opportunities in education, family engagement, and character development. And the way we do that, we do age appropriate intervention and prevention activities and workshops for the girls. We focus on community engagement too. And we also have created a wonderful program, which is called Crown Me Confident. And with the Crown Me Confident program, we have a week long camp. It's called Camp Confident. We have a week long camp. And then we end with a phenomenal show, which is called Crown Me Confident, where the girls show off their talents. They share what they've learned during the camp, and they actually receive crowns. And so that's one
Oh,
of the, yeah, so that's one of our newest programs that we have. But yeah, so we're just open year round. It's no registration fee or anything to sign up for that. You just if you want to be involved or want to get connected, just give us a call.
great, great. And so when I was talking to Grace last night, the reason why this program sparked so much interest is because she talked about how this could be a program that can be, we can receive the training we need to get, and we
Mhm.
can actually have one of these sponsored programs in your area. So if you have, you have little girls you're trying to mentor and coach and help build their character, this would be an excellent program to connect with so that
Mhm.
you can start your own program or actually work with Grace to start your own program. I'll say it like that.
Mhm.
And as you see up around the bottom of the screen, I've got Grace's contact information there, and so that you can get in touch with her
Mhm.
to, talk about it.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So now this next slide, the reason why I was holding off on this one because I needed to see why you were going to be the person to get this award. So because you are definitely setting trends for
Mhm.
our youth in your area. So
Um,
Grace is going to be the recipient of the Herpreneur Network Her Award, the Trendsetter Award. And so I wanted to make sure I showed this slide because I want y'all to see this. I'm going to actually put in the chat if this is going to be held September the 20th
mhm.
in Montgomery, Alabama.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
if you haven't gotten your ticket and you're in the Alabama area, you don't even have to be in the Alabama area. Actually, you can
Yes.
drive on over there and get that. But I put that in the chat for you so you could put that. So tell me about when you found out about being nominated for this award. Tell me about that.
Oh my gosh. Believe it or not, I be getting embarrassed a little bit. I don't
Really?
know. Yeah, I do. Dr. Nikki, of course you know Dr. Nikki Ziegler, a phenomenal woman. Oh wow. Her herpreneur network is absolutely amazing and lifting and empowering women and branding them, they're and helping and supporting businesses that they have such a great network there. And when I found out, I was like, oh my God, really? And then you be like, okay, well, I was like, trendsetter. I was like, I don't know how I was a trendsetter. You just don't really think about those type of
Because it's
things.
just what you're doing. It's what you do.
Yeah, yeah. You just really don't think about it, but so grateful. And I know Dr. Nikki is working extremely hard to make this, such a beautiful event for us and for the guests that are going to be there. So, and it's going to be also great networking too.
Yeah.
So, get your business cards. Make sure you go ahead on and purchase a ticket. If you can get in touch with me if you need to get a ticket or whatever, and I can share that information on how to do that. But yes, this is going to be phenomenal, a phenomenal night for women in business. So get your ticket, get your uh, cards, your business cards, and let's connect and have a good time and really celebrate one another.
Yes, I am excited for you. I am
Mhm.
not going to be there. I wanted to come, but I actually have a
Yeah.
business trip and I can't make
Mhm.
the event. So I would love to have been there to meet you in person
Oh,
and watch
yes.
you get your award and everything. But this is the next best thing for me that I'm able to just do this interview with you and connect with
Mhm.
you for my own personal thing. So
Right.
I think it's great you being able to be on this, and I think like we talked about last night, we believe it was a God ordained connection because I believe we're going to
Yes, most
connect in a
definitely.
greater capacity even after this interview. So I'm looking forward to that. And
Yes.
if anyone is interested, again, I put in the chat. If you want to go to that event, please make sure you click on that link I put in the
Mhm.
chat. I
Oh,
also
good.
put the link in the chat. I did put another link in the event you're interested in joining the Herpreneur Network. Go ahead and put that. You can click that link as well and join the network right there. Grace, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to meet you and
Thank you.
actually interview you. I'm so excited about what you're doing in your area. And if you're watching this and you're in her area and you haven't connected with her, please make sure you take the opportunity. She's got so many great programs that are running that you don't want to miss being a part of. Grace, do you have any closing remarks that you have, perhaps?
Yes, I just want to tell everybody to make sure if you don't do anything else, find joy in everything, find your peace, love on yourself, and live life.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much. And we
Thank
look
you.
forward to hearing more about what you're doing in the future. Thank you, everyone, for
Thank you.
joining us tonight. If you're watching the replay, if you're watching the replay, you won't see the little red live button. But please make comments. Please share this out. Let other people see it and see what great things Grace is doing in her community. And I look forward to seeing you. I'll be back here, I believe, tomorrow night at 8:30. I think it's 8:30 tomorrow night. I'll be back with another great guest who is doing other great things in her community as well. Thank you again, Grace. I look
Thank
forward to talking
you.
to you in the future. Thank you. Y'all have a good night. Bye bye.
Good night.